This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. Most any contemporary musical style can trace its roots back to the blues. Time Signatures explores the blues and its musical connections with captivating interviews, lively discussions, and news from the world of the blues.
You know I'm crying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Baby, I'm home.
Well, thank you so much, Parker, and welcome to Time Signatures. I'm your host, Jim Ervin, and I think one of the coolest parts of what I do here at Time Signatures is meeting new blues musicians all the time. And I truly mean that. There's such a wide variety of artists out there with diverse talents, each one bringing something unique to the table, and this guy's no exception. He's a staple of the Chicago blues scene, and his voice has been compared to the late, great Sam Cooke. His playing style, it's said, seamlessly flows between old school blues, jazz, and rock. And I can tell you that if you've ever seen this man play, he and his entire band bring one of the most entertaining shows to the stage I've ever seen. Delmark recording artist, 2014 inductee to the Chicago Blues Hall of Fame, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and master blues artist, Mike Wheeler. Welcome to Time Signature, sir. That's a mouthful.
Hey, Erv, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, you've been running around quite a little bit here. You just got back from India, correct?
Yeah, last Monday.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had a great time there.
And you're getting ready to come into the busy part of the year for all of the blues musicians traveling all around the country and the world, for that matter.
Correct. Yeah, I'm ready for it too.
Well, it's great to have you on the show, Mike. A lot of ground to cover, so I want to dive right in. Talk about your baptism into the blues. Where did it all begin for you?
Well, I first, my introduction to the blues was through my mother. When I was a little boy, she played Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Little Milton, Albert King, Buddy Guy, Otis Rush. We listened to all kind of blues stuff around the house. And the thing with my mother, she played all genres. We listened to blues, rock, R&B, jazz,
Nice.
some everything. That was my introduction to the blues.
Very nice. At what point in life did you come to the realization that you were truly meant to be on the stage as a blues musician?
I think in my teens, maybe when I got 18, because I did my first real blues gig at 18,
Okay.
at the Delta Blues Festival down in Mississippi. And and we were down there, and I saw Coco Taylor and her band, and
Oh, man.
a lot of other people, and I kind of realized it right then.
Now, I've got to hear about your first gig. As I read, it was with Muddy Waters piano player Lovie Lee at Lily's. How did that come about, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, that was my first gig here in Chicago, and
Okay.
playing the blues at Lily's with Lovie Lee, and man, it was an amazing experience because his son name was Doug, and he played bass, and Lovie was looking for a guitar player, and Doug told him about me, and so Lovie had me come by his house, rehearse with him, and,
Sure.
and that's when I first met I can't think of but I met a lot of great musicians over at his house.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I first met Louis Bell. I met Louis Bell and his brothers over
Oh,
at
yeah.
Lovie Lee's. I didn't know who they were, but it was Louis Bell and his brothers, because
Wow.
Lovie Lee was their godfather.
Okay. Well, you've shared the stage
And,
with some of the greatest blues musicians of all time, including Coco Taylor, Buddy Guy, Shamika Copeland, just to name a few. Have you ever
Mhm.
caught yourself standing off to the side of the stage, just kind of overwhelmed with the realization of what you were doing at that moment? Sort of a pinch me moment?
Oh yeah, when I was on stage with B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Jimmy Johnson, and George Benson, that was one of those moments, man. It was unbelievable, and I mean, that's a day I never forget. I'd say that's probably like the only time, other than all the times when we play with and Buddy Guy comes up. So those moments like that, yeah.
Now, you've also recorded and played with the creme de la creme of Chicago blues bands, including Nellie Tiger Travis, Sam Cockrell and the Grooves, and Big James and the Chicago Playboys. That experience had to help you build a solid blues foundation in your younger years, yes?
Oh yeah, that was school, man. That was school. I was with Big James for 18 years or something like that. I think it's close to like 18 years. And man, we went through some stuff, man. We played behind some great people. We did shows with Sun Seals,
Okay.
Coco Taylor, stuff like that, and playing with Nellie Tiger Travis. That was my introduction to playing blues on the South Side, which was where I started out on the South Side. Playing those clubs, and then with Sam Cockrell, man. Sam Cockrell is a legend, man, and I met him. I was like 13 years old, and saw him playing with his band, and I was like, wow, just mesmerized. And I knew that I wanted to be a musician. So eventually down the line, I ended up playing some shows with him. So yeah, it was all just school, man. It was all just school. And I was learning, different styles and learning how to, be a good backup musician, and learn,
Sure.
what to do and what not to do. So it was just school.
Definitely an educational experience for sure. Having
Yes.
seen you not long ago at TC's Blues Jams in Napoleon, I can attest to the fact that you really do have one hell of a band. How long have you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
been together with this group of guys, and where in the world did you find your bassist, Larry Williams? That guy is shot out of a cannon.
Ah, man, Larry's one of a kind, man. He's, in my true opinion, man, to me, he's the best bass player in the world. To me, nobody even comes close. But I first met Larry, we were 16 years old, because he had a cousin that I knew. And because his cousin was older than me, and he played guitar, he just let me hang out with him. And then one day I'm over his house, and Larry comes in. And Larry, we were both 16 years old, and I had a Fender Strat copy. He had a real Fender bass, and he was 16 years old. And I'm like, wow. And he had his own band. He was playing in a professional band at that time, that was his band.
Sure.
I've been knowing him ever since. But the whole band, we've been together since I want to say 2001. Our original bass player was a guy named Sam Green, but he had got paralyzed in the accident, and then Larry came in and took his place. But Larry's been with us over 23 years. But the newest member is
Go ahead.
Ronnie on the keys. He's been with us only a year. But Cleo Cole on the drums, he was right there at the beginning.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the whole band is they're a lot of fun. But I was told when I went down to see you by a friend of mine that has seen you play before, she said, you watch Larry. He is just on the move from start to finish. And I was actually proud because I got some decent pictures of him that night.
Yeah.
But the entire band is just, so friendly and so welcoming. And it was an honor to meet you all when you were over at TC's place in Napoleon, for sure.
Thanks, Erv. So we try to carry ourselves in a professional manner and get the people a show, and and act like we want to be there, as opposed, some people, you see them on stage, they're like they ready to go, but we're the total opposite of that. We try to give people a show, give them their money's worth.
Yeah, I would have to say you definitely did that and more. I mean, honestly, the entire evening was wonderful. You gave us a little bit of Motown while you were there, and there's a couple of my friends are blues purists, and one of them says he didn't do a whole blues show, and I said, yeah, but when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do,
Well, you know what, I get that sometimes, and I understand that. Some people want to hear all blues, but you got to remember there's other people in the room too. So that's what we try to do. We try to play something for everybody. And hopefully, we play enough blues where the blues players like what we played and can probably, deal with the other stuff too. But I come to realize you can't please everybody, but you can try to, but you can't please everybody.
Well, the one thing that I noticed is, the crowd was really into it. I don't think that it was a genuine complaint. It was more like a little bit of a, kind of a barb type of thing. But I think
Yeah.
overall, everybody really enjoyed the show. And the thing that I liked about it is it was a good high energy show. I mean, from start to finish, I don't think it ever slowed down any. I mean, you had a couple of lower keyed songs, but it was a good moving show for the entire performance. I loved it.
Oh, well, thank you. Irv. Well,
So
yeah, I try to read the room, and if everybody's having a good time, and there's
yeah,
one person not having a good time, I mean, I feel bad for, but I'm like,
right.
won't you get with them? Get with them.
Yeah. Mike, you have spent considerable time in Chicago playing at Kingston Mines, Buddy Guy's Legends, the famed Chicago Blues Club, and at the Chicago Blues Fest. What was your first Chicago Blues Fest appearance like for you? Take us back to that time.
My first Chicago Blues Fest appearance would be with Big James and Chicago Playboys, and it was amazing. It was an honor, man, to play the Chicago Blues Fest. I mean, that's the biggest free festival in the world, blues
Yes,
festival in the
sir.
world, and people come from all over, to see that, and it was definitely a great time, man. And you never forget that first one. So yeah, it was a great time.
I try to ask every musician that I have the privilege of interviewing how the pandemic affected their trajectory and their career. What about you, Mike? How did you process things during that decidedly dark period of time between 2020 and 2022 and things really started kicking back up?
Well, it made me put the priorities, put my priorities in check. People lost money, but that don't compare to the people that lost their lives.
Yeah,
So I just figured, as long as I'm alive, I can still make some more money later. And so I just have, I found stuff to do around the house and just, spend more. You had no choice but to spend more time with your family, and
right.
just tried to make the most of it, man. And the main thing was to try to stay healthy and make it through it.
Right, right. All right, I've got a couple lightning round questions for you. Your favorite blues musician, living or not, male or female, and why?
Oh, my favorite. This is a no-brainer. My favorite blues musician is Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
Because I mean, I have other favorites too, but Jimmy is one that I played with and I was able to learn from, and he was good people, and I just liked everything about him, man. And he was honest. He told you the truth, and he was just a good person, man. And I definitely miss him. So yeah, that's my favorite, hands down, Jimmy Johnson.
Okay. So if I'm coming to Chicago, where can I get the best hot dog in town?
Mm, I don't know, man. I don't eat. I don't know how to eat hot dogs. So
All right. How
just
about the best? How about the best pizza?
the best pizza was. See, that's different too, because they got the north side pizza, but I eat pizza here on the south side. This place called Italian Fiesta. So that's, I like deep dish, but I like the thin crust better. So it's a place here
Okay.
on the south side, not far from me, called Italian Fiesta, and that's what
Okay.
I like the most.
Best blues venue in Chicago.
Ooh, I like them all, man. I like them all. I can't pick one. It's like picking your favorite kid. 'Cause they all treat me good.
All right. Who does the best rendition of Sweet Home Chicago?
Most of shoot, I mean, it's a hard song to mess up. Most people, but the best rendition that I ever heard was Lonnie Brooks.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I heard Lonnie Brooks' version of it, so that's definitely the best one I heard, Lonnie Brooks.
Okay. Any new projects for you in the near future? You working on a new CD or anything soon?
Yeah, well, I'm talking with the people at Delmark. We're probably gonna have a release coming out.
Okay.
Well, we have a single out right now from the Delmark 70th anniversary celebration, the Jimmy Johnson song, Jim Johnson's version of "Serves Me Right to Suffer," and so
Okay.
and then myself and Larry, we played on Tad Robinson's album that's gonna be coming out. But yeah, our project probably won't be out until next year, early next year.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I have enjoyed a lot of your music. I try to immerse myself when I'm putting questions together for an interview. And I honestly, I guess I have a really wide palette. I really enjoy blues, and I think the quality of the music that you bring to the table is fun, it's entertaining, and it's to me it's good solid blues music. There's no question.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. Where can we get more information on Mike Wheeler? Where can we buy your CDs? Maybe get some touring information. Maybe if somebody wants to book you.
Well, all the CDs and stuff are available on delmarkrecords.com. Contact information and schedule and stuff is on our website, mikewheelerband.com. Pretty much everything is on there. But anybody want to purchase the music, you have to Delmark. You can go to their website.
Okay. Mike, there's a lot of young blues musicians that are coming up, and I always try to ask the musicians who've been around a little while, what is your best advice for the new generation that's coming up?
Well, I always tell them, to play with as many musicians as you can, and to get your experience together. Some are luckier than others, like Kingfish. He didn't have to go through that process because he came right out as a band leader. But most artists aren't that fortunate. And just do as many shows as you can, and just get used to playing in front of people and expressing yourself. And always try to be you. Just take it for what it's worth. Because some people don't like you, some people ain't gonna like you. But if you can get most of the people to like you, you're doing fine. But
Right.
you got to be true to yourself.
Yes, sir. Well, Mike Wheeler, many thanks for joining us on Time Signatures today. Our best wishes and continued success. And of course, we certainly look forward to seeing you on the road again soon.
Well, you know what, Erv?
Yes, sir.
Just want to say one more thing. I want to just give a shout out about a couple of young artists that's on the scene to be on the lookout for.
Sure.
Definitely Jemiah Rogers. Jemiah Rogers is a monster. I mean, I don't know if you've read him or not. Fabulous guitar player and vocalist. And also Joe Doyle. Joe Doyle, man. Both of those young guys, man, I think that they're going to keep the blues tradition going, and they're just great artists.
I will definitely keep them on my radar. And I'm one of those people that I enjoy watching the younger generation come up. And I've enjoyed watching, Kingfish and Ben Levin plays a great boogie woogie piano over in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Just a young guy. He's in his 20s.
Tom Holland told me about him.
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to meet him, but
he's a great guy. Well, that wraps up this edition of Time Signatures with Jim Ervin. I want to thank Mike Wheeler once again for his time. And I want to thank each of you for taking time to listen and watch and spend time with us. Jim Ervin reminding you that keeping the blues alive is our goal, but preserving the history of the blues one story at a time, that's my mission. Until next time, take care, my friends. We'll see you soon.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on cabs, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lccconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
I'm trying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.